Hi, this is Teacher Angie. I am going to present to you a fine motor activity that you could do with your children at home. I'm going to use some of the materials that have been sent home to you, the dot-to-dot paint. I'm going to use the small glue bottle. I'm going to use some of these papers. These little papers you could cut out from construction paper. It's just tissue paper. You could use wrapping paper, you could use newspaper, advertising paper, anything like that. I'm also going to use these little flowers since our theme is nature, but you could use anything else. I got these from, we have them here at Program, but you could find them at the Dollar Tree, the 99-cent store. We also have some cutouts from ads, these flowers. But if you get the weekly ads, even with your child, you can, even if your child cannot cut them, you can together tear them. So if you start it off and you tear it a little bit like this, your child, if you hold it, your child can pull it. And if they pull it, these are things that they can glue on the paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just about the process. And they're actually addressing their fine motor skills. So you could have them, like let's say this picture, you cut it up a little bit, tear it up, you hold it and have your child pull it. And that to them gives them the opportunity to use their fine motor skills. They're pulling the paper apart, and you could still use it for gluing too. So I also have stickers, and many parents have received these stickers, which you can also use for this activity. One of the things that you could do, a lot of times we just give the sticker to the child, or either we give them the stickers and have them kind of figure out, but you can also kind of fold the sticker like this, just fold it a little bit, and have your child pull it off like this. Or if for some reason they're not interested in pulling it off the paper, you can always place the sticker on your child's hand and have them take it from there. And then you would have to guide their hand and have them put it on the paper. So that way they're learning the process of the activity, which is putting the stickers on the paper, but also they're using their fine motor skills to get these little stickers off the sticky paper. So one of the things that we could start off with is you would use your little glue bottle. Make sure you open it enough that when they kind of squeeze, the glue comes out easily, but there's still enough resistance where they're going to have to squeeze the bottle to get the glue out. So you could have the glue out for them. Remember that a lot of the children will want to just kind of squeeze the glue all over. They will want to squeeze the glue all over the paper. So you're going to want to help them, provide them hand over hand assistance. And when we say hand over hand, that means like, you're just going to place their hand over theirs, and you're going to motor them and help them through every step of the activity. So one thing you could do is you're going to give them the glue, have them squeeze a little bit of glue on their paper. So it'll be a little bit, just about that. And then you could give them paper. So remember, every activity addresses every different domain. So you could give them 2 pieces of paper. You could put them out in your hand, and you could ask them, do you want the yellow one or do you want the orange one? And if your child is nonverbal, it's the first one they look at. So let's say your child looks at the orange one. You tell them, okay, you want orange. You give it to them, and you have your child, then you help your child put the paper on the glue. So you motor it through like that, and then you have them put it on. We could try it with different colors too. Here I have a white and a blue. So again, you would help them put glue on the paper, just a little bit, and you would put these pieces of paper on your hands. Put them separate, not too separate, but separate enough so they could see the distinction, and you would tell them, do you want blue or do you want white? Whichever first they look at, or whichever piece of paper they get, that's the one you would use. So let's say your child looks at blue, so you give them blue. If they hold it, they'll put it on the glue on their own. If they hold it, but they're looking around or they're very distracted, then you're going to help them hold it. So you'll put your hand over theirs and take it back to the glue and have them put it there. Every time that you do something, you want to clap, you want to make it very exciting for them, and then do it again. You know your child, so you know, do you use a high tone of voice, a lower tone, and you'll figure out what your child responds to best. So we could do that. Another way that you could also address their fine motor skills, which is using their small muscles, is you could get these pieces of paper and make little balls. Okay, so we're going to use this one too. Make little balls. Don't give all the papers to them at once, because then it becomes too overwhelming and they'll lose interest in the activity. So you could do this. You could put the piece of ball here on your hand, a small one. Give them the glue. They'll put glue on their paper, just a little bit, and then have them get the paper. And some children will try and get it like this. Some children might use their fingers like that. We're aiming at this. So they would pick up the paper and then put it directly back on the glue, right, like that. So you could try that. Another thing that you could build on too is we go back to the pictures. Since it's nature theme, you could use the flowers. Again, we could get these at the Dollar Tree, or you could get them at the 99. So we'll use these little flowers too. And you could use these for gluing too. So you want to help them put the glue first, and remember, talk to them. Let's say your child's name is Abraham. Abraham, we're going to put glue on the paper. Now, Abraham, let's pick up the flower. So we pick up the pink flower. Let's put it on the glue. And you go back and put it on the glue. These are activities that you could do with your child, and they will address not only the fine motor, which is what we're focusing on here through the squeezing of the glue, the picking up of the paper, if you make it into a small ball, even if it's a regular paper, oh, it's flying out. Even if it's a regular paper, they still have to use their fingers to pick it up and bring it back to the glue. The flowers, same thing, if you're using the flowers. Or if you're tearing pictures from the newspaper ads, it's the same thing. They're using their fine motor skills to tear that paper apart. But besides that, we can also, we're using language. We're having them choose which colors of paper they want. You could put the two flowers. Do you want a pink or an orange flower? You know, do you want to put paint or continue gluing? And remember, if your child is nonverbal and isn't using words to immediately describe to you what they want to do, their eyes are communicating. So if they happen to look at the green bottle of paint, oh, okay, Abraham, you want to put more paint. Let's open it together. So you could have your child help you. Again, if they can't open it, which is part of fine motor, opening and closing this, then you can provide hand over hand. So you're gonna help them, and then once it's open, you could have them do this here too. Put the paint on there. Oh, we have to squeeze. So they'll have to kind of squeeze here too. A lot of the children will not be able to squeeze hard enough to get the paint out, so you want to help them. Also, make sure that you keep an eye on them that they don't bite this. A lot of children enjoy, not that they enjoy, but they're going to try to bite this off. They're going to try and pinch it off. So you want to keep an eye on that to teach them how to use it appropriately. Okay, so let's say they glued their little items. Oh, we have these that they cut up. So we could try this, a little bit of more glue. And then they could put a picture from the newspaper ads on there too. So once they've done that, you could have them put paint on there too, on top of everything that they glued. So then it becomes a one-to-one thing. And this is going to increase their interest. You know, you could have them put that on there. Once you're done, you could have them help you close this up. Another thing you could use too, along with the materials that we give you, you can use crayons. And of course, we want them to scribble. And one of the main things is that we want to encourage specific grasp with the crayons. So most children might hold their crayon like this or like this, but we're gonna aim at this. Okay, so this is something you can work with. If you find your child continues to hold their crayon in this manner, you could just break it. Just break your crayon into a smaller piece. Okay, and this is going to encourage them and promote the more appropriate ways for them to hold the crayon. So you could have them also scribble on their paper. They can scribble around, or you can do it with them too. So if your child is attentive enough, you can draw a circle around the things you glued. So let's say I draw a circle around this one. You could encourage your child to also draw a circle around the same picture. If your child tries to draw a circle or you feel that they need more support, use the hand over hand method too. You want to put your hand over theirs and guide them through the movements of drawing the circles around what they glued on the paper as well. Remember too to keep an eye on your child that they're not putting the crayons in their mouth, that they're not trying to eat them. If they try to eat the crayons, it's okay. You just have to redirect them. You have to be there next to them and continuously redirect them to use the crayon on the paper, whether it's drawing a simple stroke, scribbling, or help imitating you with the circles that you drew around the things that you glued on the paper. Okay, so that's another way that we can help with that. We also have stickers, right? And these stickers most parents have received. If for some reason you haven't received these simple stickers, just communicate with your teacher so they could send them out to you too. So remember with these stickers, you want to fold them a little bit, just a little, there you go. Just a little bit so your child can easily grasp them. And when they do, they could bring them back here and they could place them on the items that they glued. Sometimes children want to do that. They want to place them on top of everything that they glued. Remember to talk to your child as they're doing this. Do not leave them alone to do these things, because language is a very important part of the activity, of all activities. So even if we're focusing on fine motor skills, you still want to talk to them about every single step that you're doing with them. Remember that if they can't, for some reason, whether it's interest or it's very hard to get the sticker from the paper, you could always put it on their hands. So if you put it on their hand, they're gonna want to remove it. And when they do remove it, they might not immediately grasp it this way. They might just kind of hold it like this, but you will help them. You, with your hand, kind of help them position it correctly, and then they could put it on the paper. Okay, and if you want to go back and give them the paint, they could put paint directly onto the stickers. Again, these are things that they'll be interested in. And remember that although we are focusing on addressing specific skills, the way children learn at this age is through play. So it has to be very open. So if they want to put paint on their sticker, that's okay. You're still addressing the fine motor. You're helping them get the stickers, put them on the paper, and you're helping them use the paint. When they use these paints, they have to squeeze it and they have to hold it too. So again, you're going to work on that grasping where they have to hold it and squeeze here to get the paint on the paper. So you're addressing more fine motor skills too. And again, like I said, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself again, make sure they don't put it in their mouth. It is non-toxic, but we want to teach them the appropriate way of using these materials. So it would be for them to get it and put it on the paper too. We also have these stickers. These are other simple stickers too. And it would be the same thing, because you see the circles are a little bit more separated, but let's say you have stickers like these. So you just want to make sure that you kind of fold out the corners like this. So you would fold out for all the stickers like that. And then you would help your child, get the sticker to place it on the paper too. Okay, so we could use many things. Here we are with more of these cutouts. And again, remember, you could have your child tear them. So they could tear the paper, okay? And then have them put glue. Have the glue, put it on the paper. Oh, there we go. Put it on the paper again. And this could go directly back on the glue. And another thing back to this, and then they would paint on it too. So remember to use consistent language, describe to them what they're doing, work with what you have. So right here, I kind of have everything out. When you do this activity with your child, you want to limit what's out. 1 paint, 1 glue, maybe pieces of paper, but maybe you could just limit it to 10 little pieces of paper. If they want more, then you could tear more together. If you're gonna get flowers, or even if, I think one of the activities we're sending out is the nature collage, when you're doing that, you want to kind of keep everything a little limited and organized so the child will not become overwhelmed. So let's say here, only 3 flowers, and then if we're using cutouts, I would only have a few pictures too, okay? And I would place them out in a way, let me move this so we could see here, in a way where it's kind of separated, okay? Not everything all together, just a little, just a little separated. You want to limit what you present to your child. So again, we have the paint, the glue, and some of the items that you would be using for this activity. But you don't want to leave everything right in front of them because they will become overwhelmed. If you're using a crayon, just use 1. Just have 1 crayon. If you're using a marker, just 1 marker. Don't bring out everything at once because it can become visually overwhelming, and then they will not want to, they will actually lose interest, even if it's exciting items. So you want to just limit it. You want to break it down into steps. Another thing you can do, and as I use the name Abraham, we'll use that again as an example. You could write your child's name as you're doing this. So together you could tell them, oh, Abraham, I'm going to write your name. A-B-R-A-H-A-M. Okay, so we write their name, Abraham, on the paper. Your child will want to scribble over their name most of the time. If they don't, it's okay. They're still getting exposed to writing skills, drawing skills. They might just want to write around there. They might want to put the glue on their name. They might want to use the paint and do dot to dot on their name. So the thing is that you're kind of bringing all these different things and exposing them to different activities. They're using their fine motor skills, but you're also focusing on the use of language, not just using it to describe everything they're doing. You're showing them their name. You're exposing them to visually beginning to understand letters. You know, it's not going to happen right away, but every time you do an activity with them, you're exposing them to their name. You're exposing them to the letters in their name. You're sounding out each letter of their name, and you're also pointing them. You know, so you'll point to them as you say them, and your child will begin to build interest with that. Again, it will not happen right away, but eventually, after repeating this numerous times, they will begin to find interest with that, and this is how you can help them. Another thing that you can do, so your child can understand the ending of an activity, is you're going to get a piece of tape, just any regular tape. Okay, whatever they do, any arts and crafts, get tape and put it on their paper. Okay, put it on their paper and have them put it on the refrigerator, the lower part. Have them put them on the wall where you did the activity. If they're not interested in doing it on their own, you walk with them. You hold it. You hold their hand as they're holding their artwork. Walk with them and help them put it on the wall. So almost like this. Okay, so then they could have it like that too. Another thing that you want to do at the end of all activities is always sing the cleanup song, because this will bring closure to what you're doing, and it will let them know that you're getting ready to transition to something else. So even if you feel your child is not familiar with it, you could kind of fast forward this video and play the song every time you're ending something. So I'll go ahead and sing it. And as you're singing it, you can have your child help you clean up. Even if it's just to put the crayon in a bag, to pick up the pieces of paper and put them in a Ziploc bag. You know, this is part of cleaning up, and this will help them understand this activity is done. We're ready to move on to something next, the next activity. Okay, so I'll go ahead and sing the cleanup song as I'm putting everything away. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, everybody, do your share. Okay, and that's a song that you can use with them, so that way they can understand that the activity has come to an end and we're all done with the items that we're using. You could even use little Ziploc bags and you could put the items in there so they understand this is where we put all our items when we're done. Okay, so if for some reason you do have any questions of how to help your child motor them through the steps of an activity, how to address fine motor, as this is what we were focusing on here, bring it up with your teacher so they could better address your concerns. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this can help you find different ways of how to address your child's fine motor skills, and also to remember that every activity that you do with them includes all areas of development. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.